In these next few videos I'm going to post, we're going to be talking about the capability of Excel of doing what-if analysis. And you can find the what-if analysis under the Data tab in the Forecast group under what-if analysis. And there's actually four of them. Three of them are actually under the what-if analysis. The fourth one, Solver, we will need to add that. We'll do that when we get to doing that one. So we have Scenario Manager, Goal Seek, and Data Tables. So the first one we're going to talk about is Goal Seek. And what Goal Seek allows you to do is, it's a very simple what-if analysis, is I want to change one cell. So we have three cells here, actually four. The interest, the term, the price, and then the payment. So we want to reach a certain payment that we can afford. So the easiest one is to change the price of the vehicle that you're going to purchase as a vehicle. Right now it's going to be 5%, 5 years, $25,000, and it's $471.78. So what we can do is say, well, I can't afford $471 a month. I can afford $250. So our goal to reach will be $250. So we can do that by simply going up to What If Analysis and choose Goal Seek. And the Goal Seek has three parts. We want to set a certain cell. That's going to be B7. And we want to set that to 250. But there are three cells that affect that. This is just a simple PMT function. We could change the interest, we could change the term, we could change the price. Well, the most obvious one is to change the price. So we'll click on price, and then don't worry if you just type in, if I just typed in B5 instead of clicking on it, the absolute doesn't really matter. So we can click OK, and you'll see really quickly it does a quick calculation. And in order to keep your vehicle at $250 monthly payment, you would have to, you couldn't buy anything more than $13,247.68. And I would assume that would include if you had a down payment or any interest. So we'll just, if you don't like this, you can always hit cancel, and that brings you back to where you were before. So we go back to What If Analysis, Goal Seek. It's like, okay, well, what if, again, we still want our payment to be $250, but what if we change the interest rate? So we'll click on interest rate, and we'll click OK and see what we can do. Well, if you look at this, the interest rate is a negative 18.53%. You're not going to find a bank that actually pays you 18.53% to purchase their vehicle. So this is nonsense, or a nonsense result. It's nothing that you can actually come up with. When we do Solver later, we would be able to change the interest rate along with other cells, but with the Goal Seek, we can only change one. So we're going to hit cancel and bring it back. It would be possible to change the term. That may be unrealistic, but we could change the term. So again, we're going to set our cell B7 to $250 by changing the number of years. And we'll click OK. And if you wanted to buy a $25,000 car, you could do it at $250 a month if you did 11 years. That might be a term that you probably wouldn't be able to get. But so you can at least work through a variety of options to see exactly what you can afford. So if you were to go to a car dealer and say, hey, I would like to have a vehicle that is in the, let's say, $15,000 range, you know that you can afford that. If you go in and say, hey, I want something at $250 a month, they can do a lot of underhanded things. All right, well, the second example is with grades. So the gray area is the final exam, and the goal is to get, let's say, an 85 in the class, so a strong B. And so what we can do is we can have the Goal Seek make changes. Now, right now, the final exam set for 0, so it will start from 0 and work its way up, or work its way down, depending on what the final goal is. So we'll go to What If Analysis, and we'll choose Goal Seek. We want to set the grade to an 85. And if you just read from the top down, this will actually tell you how to make changes to it and what changes to make by changing the final exam, which is B8. And we'll click OK. So in order for this person to get a B in this class, they would have to get 117% on the final exam, which is probably not going to happen. If I just change this to 100%, the highest they're going to get is an 81.6%. So you can work with GoalSeek to work with this type of assignment to see whether or not we can hit a certain grade. And it'll tell you whether or not you can't. 117% is impossible unless you get a bunch of extra credit on the final exam. Okay, the last two examples, we want to hit a certain profit. I put a goal here of $10,000. So we're going to set this cell, the first example, to $6,000. So the first one, we're going to change the price. That's the price per widget. Right now it's $25. We're going to let Excel make changes to that price until profit hits $10,000. We'll see if that's even possible or practical. So we'll do GoalSeek. We want to set the cell. I've already clicked on the cell. And we want to set that to $10,000. And we're going to change the price per unit or per widget. A widget is just a generic product. And if we click OK, so $33 per widget to hit that price. So in our second example, same information, but we're going to change. In the second example, we're going to change instead of the price, the quantity sold. So we can go to What If Analysis, choose our GoalSeek. We want to set our profit. Notice I have F16 already selected, saves you time doing that. We'll do $10,000. And this time, instead of changing the price, which wasn't too bad, increase the price by $8 is not too astronomical. But this time we're going to see what would happen if we just try to market and sold more of the product. Leave the price at $25. So we'll click OK. So in order for this, we'll just hit OK to accept the changes. In order to reach a $10,000 profit, we would need to sell at $25 per widget, 767 widgets or quantity. So just up our marketing, and hopefully we could sell almost, well, a little over 267 extra widgets. Now I'm alluding to something we'll cover in a later video. We could do this with Solver, and we may come back and talk about this, where we're going to change these two cells so that we can have a profit of $10,000. So you may see this again in a later video. So that's GoalSeek. GoalSeek allows you to set a cell to a certain value by changing another cell, only one. You can't change a range, even though you could range out a bunch of cells. It's only going to allow you to actually use one. So it's a quick and easy way, instead of having to keep typing in numbers. So over here, if I again started at 25 and I wanted to reach this at 6,000, I would just keep trying to add more costs. Oh, we're getting close. What if I do 35? Oops, not $3. 35. You can see I'm over. So you keep playing around until you get the exact figure you want. This is relatively simple, but if you had a more complex problem, this may take a little bit of time. So that's why it's nice to use the GoalSeek. So it's a quick way of hitting a cell at a certain value by making a change to one cell. So that is GoalSeek.